Yeah. Oh, there we go. Hello, everybody. Um, as you can tell, this is not my truck camper. I figured I would have at least one live stream, well, probably only one live stream in this house that the making lemonade thing that I was kind of hinting at is in regards to how I am going to be full timing again. Not necessarily by choice either. Um, it's through no fault of the person that owns this house, and it's also not my fault. It's just kind of circumstances that I don't necessarily want to get into because it's kind of personal on his side. So, yeah. Anyway, um, yay, homeless. um, so yeah, it's I'm gonna try my best to stay positive and not get down about this whole next phase of my life. Because, well, I've been there before. When I started this channel, I actually did 3.5 years of full timing, and I have my truck camper now. And I also have a much better setup as far as with the truck goes. And fingers crossed, my friend Tom is he's gonna be helping me build some boxes in the space that goes, from the bottom of the flatbed to the top of the camper. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, he's gonna help me finish those, and fingers crossed, all of our material shows up in time for me to get those on and installed before I head down to the truck camper rally. Because yeah, I'm super excited to see those things finished and on there, and looking forward to the build out. The final stage of the build up for my truck camper. So anyway, maybe we'll get into some other stuff here in a little bit, but for now, let's just say hi to everybody. McChristy, hello. William Hausman, good to see you again from Colorado. And oh shoot, Lila, hello, Southeastern Colorado. Wow, awesome. Danya and Priya, good to see you again. Sarah and Tank Girl, good to see you. And Mary Fields and Ken and Dan Walsh and Mr. Kevin Wald's in the house and Dee Dee Curtis. It's so nice to see all of you again. This is nice. Um, Sarah says, "Nice kitchen." Yeah, thanks. It's it's a lot bigger than the one in my truck camper, but it's a very quaint. Let's just use that as a euphemism. There's not really a lot going on there. Maybe we'll take a tour here in a little bit, and I haven't really done any decorating. Like, I've lived in this house for it'd be coming up on, actually, I think it's been almost 2 years that I've been in this house, and I have not done a single thing to decorate this. I mean, same thing goes with my truck camper. The most decorating that I've done to that thing so far is to put up my world's greatest cornhole RBR championship second place trophy that I definitely didn't make by myself. That was certainly awarded to me. But anyway, yeah, I haven't done any decorating. I just got some of my rocks that I've collected over the years. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but I'm a big time rock hound, and probably one of the reasons of why my back has been just destroyed is because this one right here, for example, it's a limb cast, and I'm not going to nerd out and tell you exactly what a limb cast is, but it's a solid agate, and it weighs 52 pounds, and I carried that thing out on my back about 3 miles out of the woods through just gnarly draws. I was looking at my old analog map, and I thought, okay, well, if I just go straight, it's not nearly as far as if I were to walk all the way around like 5 miles. And that was a horrible mistake. Jim Pierce from Helena, good afternoon to you too. I'd imagine it's sunny up there as well. It's a bluebird day today. Um, Hi from Wichita Falls, Texas. Hey, I've been wondering about that. Are any of y'all from the southeast? I know Mike and Twyla are, but I don't know if y'all are in there yet. But I'm wondering if anybody can give me an update on what's going on down there. I heard a lot of Texas didn't get hit as hard as they thought they were going to get hit, but yeah, it looked like it was going to be one heck of a storm down there. Hal DC, hi from northern New Mexico. Do you work a full-time job? I have considered full-timing in a unique way myself, but do work full-time, so I'm not sure if it would be feasible. When there is work, I do work full-time. Yeah. I kind of have a mid, like not long-term, but not short-term goal. I'm hoping to be able to go full-time on YouTube in 2 to 3 years. But in the meantime, I am a carpenter and I've owned my own business for 20 years or so, and it's been mostly good. Now, with the economy kind of not doing so well the last year, it's been really rough. And then going into this year, it's also really rough. But the upside of that is it motivated me to get my YouTube channel going again because I had a lot more downtime than I normally would with my primary occupation. Hello from New York, says Yvette. Hello. Dan Walsh says, have you ever rock hunted up by Crystal Park? I have. And excuse me for a sec. Nose problems. I have rock hounded up by Crystal Park, and that's not really my kind of style of rock hounding. That involves a lot of digging and hoping. Whereas when I go rock hounding, I'll cover vast distances. Or when I used to, it's pretty hard now. But yeah, I would primarily just go to places where I know it'd be popping out of the side of a mountain or go below rocky outcroppings where this material would fall out of the mountain and then kind of rock hound that way. And I've done a fair share of rock hounding on the rivers, especially, like the Yellowstone River has Montana moss agate and also many other rivers around here. I was on the Madison River, which I think that's over by Ennis, Montana. They have blue agate over there, and I've found a couple pieces, but I haven't really hunted that much over there. Hey, Destination Deserts in the house. Thank you. Nice place for now. KJM, did I miss the big news? Please tell me you aren't leaving YouTube. Oh, and I have to say, go Hawks. I'm not leaving YouTube. I have no intentions on leaving YouTube anytime soon. Although the reason why I didn't put out a film this Sunday is because after I have a feeling I'm going to be saying this multiple times during this live, but I'll keep it short and sweet this go around. After I get back from my travels down to the Southwest, I have to come back up here right away and move out of this and then go full time on the road again. Because I won't be living here anymore. Let's see here. DD Crafty Grandma says hi from Mesa, Arizona. Well, hello. Mesa is probably nice and warm right about now. You're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we got about 7 inches of snow, no ice. Well, that's good at least. I'm sure y'all can manage the snow just fine, but ice is another story. Runaway parents are southwest of me, about 3-ish hours. Oh, okay. Truck camper Felix, cheers from Germany. Hey, Prost. Let's see here. Runaway parents are in the house. Hey, guys. I was just talking about you about a second ago. I was asking everybody else how that winter storm was hitting them down there in the south. Debbie says, I'm in North Texas, 1 inch of ice. Ooh, and 3 inches of snow. Whew, that's rough. And Runaway Parents said, we got about 1 inch of ice and about 4 inches of sleet, and it's currently snowing. You know, this is really unfair. I got to say, I wish I could take that from you and just bring it up here because, well, the temperatures that we had during your snowstorm, it was well below freezing. So that would have been a substantial snowstorm that I would have been very excited to get out and get into the mountains at least one more time to go ride before I head to the Southwest. Prost. How do you say it? Vita. Okay, Winston says, we lucked out and just got snow. Yep. DD says, stay safe and warm. Runaway Parents, which now has the number one. You are officially, you've gotten the crown. You've commented the most so far in this live chat. You have the infrastructure for that. We absolutely do not. It totally shuts us down. Yeah. I mean, well, even up here, if we got that much ice, it would be an issue. Especially with all the Texans that moved up here that don't know how to drive in the winter conditions. It's pretty it gets really hairy here in Montana ever since about 2019, 2020, when there was a massive influx of people that moved in here. The driving habits have gotten substantially worse. Let's just say that. Let's see here. Kim Vanderland says no snow in Utah. Yeah, I looked at a snow report and it looks like, man, most of the West is really, we have not had much snow this year. Around my neck of the woods, I think we're right at about average, but the valleys are dry as a bone. So suffice to say, I think we're going to be experiencing a lot of wildfires come this summer if we don't start getting some more precipitation. Excuse me. I wish there was a way I could mute this because I don't want you to hear this anymore than I want to hear it. Pardon. Okay. Psychmeister says, hi from sunny Arizona. I bet it's really nice down there right now. I'm looking forward to coming down there here in a couple weeks or so. Yeah, something like that. I'm also really excited to tell you that the next live stream that I do, fingers crossed, I might have a special guest. And then after that, definitely more special guests. But the next one I do, y'all know him more than likely. So that'll be fun. Oh, I didn't tell him yet either. So hopefully he's okay with that. Maybe we won't. I don't know. Sarah Tank Girl says, ice would be hard, but a lot of our utilities are underground. That's nice. But driving would be a gong show with all the influx of the outer staters. Yeah. Sarah, you're from Idaho, right? You've had to deal with the same thing that we have had to deal with here in Montana. Everybody watched Yellowstone. They're like, oh, I want to own a micro ranch in Montana. KJM says, I want everyone to be safe in this room, but I am so super jealous. There hasn't been even one snowflake where I live. Oh, that's rough. Not even one? Some of the ski resorts in New Mexico were making most of their snow until this weekend. I heard that Arizona was actually, there's a ski resort in Arizona that got a bunch of snow. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Let's see here. Oh, hey, John Travolta fan. And you've had the flu for 5 days. Eve. Oh, man. Whew, that's not fun. That's not fun at all. I hope you get better. Sarah and Tate Girl says, Larry? I don't. Oh, no. No, it's Larry will come eventually. But, yeah. I'm going to be meeting up with a good friend of mine, and we're going to caravan down to the south. And hopefully, if things work out, we can do a live stream on our way down at some point. Chappello lady says, hey there from snowy Indiana, 14 degrees Fahrenheit, 12 inches plus of snow. Okay, well, there's the snowstorm right there. Danya and Priya says, I bet I can guess who that special guest will be, but I won't ruin the surprise. Yeah, I didn't even talk to him about it. I just thought it'd be a cool thing to do. So I don't want to disclose exactly who it is unless he happens to be on the live chat and would agree to do it. Are you there? Jay, you're welcome, John Travolta fan. Yeah, I hate the flu. Ugh. Especially the flu when it's like nauseating. That I haven't had that kind of a flu. I guess that's technically what a flu is, but I haven't had that in a long time, and I hope that I never will. I'll take a fever, but a flu is no good. Didi Curtis says it's 1 degree here in Minnesota, so our snow will stay around. Yeah, Minnesota got cold this last few days. My family was telling me about how it was negative 30, I think. But then they talk about wind chills. It's kind of cheating, I think, in a little bit, in a way. Like, sure, wind is cold. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like it's not like anybody is working outside in those kind of temperatures. So how is wind chill even relevant when you're inside of your house or inside of your car? Danya and Priya asks, will there be a new Mike Banana at the Truck Camper Rally? Well, you're just going to have to tune in and wait, Danya. Kevin Wald says, said person told me they agreed to do it. All right. Well, there we go. Said person said it. Finn from Worcester says, hello from Massachusetts. We got a foot already. Holy cow. What part of Massachusetts are you from, Finn? I have a friend who he doesn't live there anymore, but he lived up in North Adams, and it's a beautiful part of Massachusetts. Very pretty. I think I've said this many times on a live stream before, but East Coast it's highly underrated. I mean, it can be really beautiful over there. Eric Nunn. Well, hey, Eric Nunn. D.D. Curtis says that didn't include wind chill. I appreciate your honesty. Finn from Worcester says Worcester. Huh? Oh, that's where you're from. Oh, okay. I don't even know where Worcester is, but it sounds like it's close to Boston. Maybe. I'm not sure. Scroll lock. Time to upgrade to plantain microphone. I heard they're more durable. I don't know if I could handle a banana that large. That's a lot of banana. Or Worcester. 45 minutes from Boston. Okay. I guess pretty well. But then again, Massachusetts is a pretty small state. Like 45 minutes from Boston could be like a third of the way across the state or something like that. Runaway Parent says, I'm sure you can manage. I'll have to use both hands with a plantain. That's a lot of banana. Has anybody ever made fried plantains? If you haven't, I highly recommend it. They're so good. I've never been able to make them as good as this one restaurant. It was like a Central American style restaurant down outside of Mesa, Arizona. I found it on, I think, TripAdvisor or something like that. And it had a really high rated. It was highly rated, and they they made pupusas, and like the fried plantains that they had were just so good. And I've tried to repeat it, but for some reason I just can't. I can't repeat how in the heck they make them taste so good. Well, Psychmeister, thank you so much for the super chat. That is a unusual emoji. It's like a hippo transformer. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Big V's in the house. And everyone here, hope you are all getting through the storm. It must be pretty dang early or is it late in Australia? Because you're in Melbourne, so you're on the west side of Australia. So that is that yesterday, technically? I think that's how it works, right? Sarah Tank Girl says they are really good with tagine fried plantains. I've never tried them with tagine before. That's awesome. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should have a live stream today, like on a Sunday, let alone at this time. I'm not sure if there's some sort of football going on, or I guess I haven't seen any Canadian folks in here besides Kevin, but I don't know if there's hockey going on. I guess basketball could be going on too. I'm just not a sports guy, so hopefully I'm not interfering with y'all's Super Bowl, or not Super Bowl, your Sunday night football or whatever they call it. Koala Bear says I'm in Florida. It's literally 80 degrees. Oh man, like 80 degrees isn't bad, but Florida 80 degrees is a whole different story. I don't think there's such thing as a dry heat down in Florida, is there? Marisa's, I'm guessing you're saying pupusas instead of Paula's. It might be Marisa's. I can actually check right now. Oh, Big V says
this coffee is really good.
You can trade. Marisa's pupusas. That kind of sounds familiar. It's right next to. Oh, here's a way you can tell. If you're looking it up on GPS, there is a coffee hut that's also an ammo store. I think it's called like coffee and ammo or something like that. I mean, that's I had to go in just to be able to see what the heck they got going on there, because it's hilarious that they have a little coffee hut where you can also buy ammo. That's peak Arizona right there. Big D says, I'm in Western Australia, Perth. It's Monday, Australia. Happy Australia Day to Aussies. Oh, happy Australia Day. What's Australia Day? Is that like Independence Day for Australia? That's kind of cool. But yeah, it's Monday. Wow. Big V's from the future. Sarah says, do they have bumper stickers? I would imagine they would, because that's some good advertising right there. Now I'm curious. Darn it. Is it? I have to look. I don't want to get too carried away with the phone, but it might be Marisa's. Pupusas. Has anybody ever had pupusas before? Oh, they're so good. Maritza's. That looks familiar. I think that's it. Yes, it is. Yep. It was Maritza's. Oh, now I'm jonesing for some pupusas. That looks so good. Oh, man. It's been a very intense couple weeks up here in Montana, I tell you what. I have been. I keep trying to like clean out my garage so that I can pull my truck in, because I've got a couple sponsors that will be on future videos. But I need to have a garage. Well, I don't have to. I could install it outside, but who wants to install stuff on your truck outside when it's it got down to -4 Fahrenheit here a couple days ago, and it hasn't been the best temperatures to be working outside. But anyway, I keep getting sidetracked because I'm making a bunch of cutting boards, and I finally finished up my last one today, and I'm so glad. I'm all cutting boarded out. I've made 7 of them so far. Dan Welsh says, wasn't your area earlier this week crazy how none of Montana is getting snow? Going to be an ugly summer, Vic. Yeah, it very well could be. But, well, a lot of Montana is actually at or above average snowpack. So that's that's nice to see at least. The area where I ride, there's 2 meters or over 6 feet of base right now. So there's a decent amount of snow out there. It's just we haven't gotten a good proper snowstorm. I have a feeling what's going to happen is as soon as I leave to go to the Southwest, winter's going to hit here, and I'm going to have to sit down in the desert, although it'd be nice temperatures down there, but that seems like that's what always happens is I'll leave Montana, and then all of a sudden winter comes, and my friend is showing me pictures of him riding in 4 feet of snow, 4 feet of fresh powder. And I'm just like, no, but oh, well, the good news is that, some of the places where I'm going to go before I get down to Arizona, there's some great off-roading to do, and you don't really ever have to worry about the off-roading not being good down there. If it would just snow, it would warm up. Yeah. I can watch your sled for you, says Dan Walsh. You can buy it if you want. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to ride it the rest of this year anyway. That was definitely one of those purchases where I went, I am really going to lose my butt on this one. This is not an appreciating asset. I mean, none of my snowmobiles that I've bought have been, with the exception of one. Like when I got back into riding about 10 years ago, I bought a sled for, I think it was $8,500, and then I used it all winter, and I sold it for $8,000. And that's a pretty good deal. That's like a screaming good deal. So, but anyway, that's not happening anymore. TD Crafty Grandma says Flagstaff has a lot of snow. Really? Well, I guess that makes sense. Remember earlier when I brought up how there was a ski resort in Arizona? Maybe it's it's probably up in Flagstaff. That's the highest and most mountainous area, to my knowledge, of Arizona, correct? I've been up there before. I should know this. But Dan Walsh lost money on all of mine so far, even the timber sleds. I'd imagine timber sleds would be even more of a hit because, yeah, I've never even ridden a timber sled before. Like right now with the snow not being that great, I heard that's when they're the most fun. I've seen them out on deep powder days, and they don't look like that much fun in deep snow. They look like they're just struggling just to try to get anywhere. A penny for Carrie says, I'm in Dallas, Texas. We have your cold, just not the snow, 9 degrees this morning. It was, wow, that's actually surprising. It was warmer this morning than that. I think it was 14 degrees Fahrenheit here this morning, which if there's anybody up there in the Canada, 14 Fahrenheit is, it's probably got to be probably 7 below centigrade, maybe 10 at the most, something like that. Kim Vanderland says, I may have missed this, but where are you filming from? Love those cabinets. This is my rental home that I'm going to be moving out of in 2 months. January, February, March. A little less than 2 months. Fun. Dan Walsh says they're amazing in powder. Really? I always thought to myself, the only way that I could think like a timber sled would be as much fun as a snowmobile in deep powder would be if it was like a 500cc 2-stroke that was turbocharged. Then I could see how those things would be just an absolute ripper. DD Crafty Grandma says 12,600 feet. Yeah, that's Flagstaff area, right? Dan Walsh, it's good seeing you too. You take care. Big V, how have I missed this? Has Vic told y'all about his helicopter ride? I haven't told anybody. I don't know who how that was found out. I'm guessing it was through Runaway Parents during their live stream a couple days ago. I stepped away from my computer for like 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden, I think maybe it was you who brought it up. But yeah, I bumped into a friend of mine that, well, we've had kind of a bit of a tumultuous friendship over the last 20 years or so, but I hadn't seen him in 8 or 9 years, and just crossed paths with him and decided to reconnect, and he is doing really well in life, which I'm very happy for. I mean, he's got a freaking helicopter, so completely wasn't even. He just asked if I wanted to go for a helicopter ride, and I'm like, who can say no to a helicopter ride, right? I've never been in one before, so it was a experience. Let's just say that. I've ridden in a lot of planes. I actually got to fly an airplane before I got to drive a car. But the helicopter is a completely different experience. And I wish there was a way that I could actually figure out how to become some sort of commercial helicopter pilot, because seems like a heck of a fun occupation. But yeah, I'll put that in probably my next video or the one after that, where I filmed some of it, and it was intense. We were kind of doing some proximity flying above a river, and trees were above us as we're skirting through this just above the river, and it was. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous for the first 30 or 40 seconds. That was intense. But yeah, that was a ton of fun. Pardon me. I was trying to kind of save that as a bit of a treat, but fortunately or unfortunately, not a lot of people watch these live streams except for, you folks. So it's not like I'm releasing it to the world quite yet. Josh, Sarah Tank Girl, negative 10C is 14 Fahrenheit. What did I say? I don't know. I feel like I was kind of close to that. Yeah, something like that. Josh Kernett, what did I miss? Let's see here. I am leaving my house and I'm going full time again here in about a month and a half. Back on the road. Vicarious Exploration, how are y'all driving right now? Well, good to hear you at least tuning in. Better not text too much while you're driving, wherever you're going. Oh yeah, I think you actually sent me a text earlier. I didn't have enough time to respond, but you're making your way back up north, so that's cool. Big V, you told me, Vic. I did? Really? No, I thought somebody brought it up in the chat last night. And then I responded or something like that, because I don't, or maybe I did. Oh, yes, I bet I did. I might have actually said that. Sorry, my bad. Mary Field says, I rode in a 2-man helicopter once. That was so scary. The tail lifts and the ground is right in front of you and you're in a little bubble. Yeah, this one was a pretty I want to say a pretty awesome helicopter. Let's just say that. It's if there's any aviation nerds out there, it's a Eurocopter, Eurocopter B2 or something like that. Really nice one. It has a turbine in it, and it's got 750 shaft horsepowers, and you can tell that thing rips. Sarah Tank Girl says $65,000 for lessons to get your commercial license. That's probably on the cheap side too, I'd imagine. Yeah, from what I heard, it's a very intense process to get your commercial license for helicopter piloting, and yeah, as far as things that fly in the sky, helicopters seem, at least to my non-knowledgeable mind on how those things actually stay in the sky, it seems like it would be a much more technical process to pilot them properly. But yeah, they don't seem to they don't seem to make any sense why they actually fly. Where was I going with that? Anyway, or at least 20. Yeah, Sarah Take Girl says at least 20 years ago. The last time that I heard it was 75,000, and I think that's just for private helicopter pilot. I think commercial is it's a whole new level. Vicarious, you told me too. I got a picture to prove it. Yep, I did. Mary Field says, I'm a fan of 750 horsepower Dodge Hellcat. Yeah, Hellcats are pretty sweet too. I'm not gonna lie about that. I do like going fast. Not the most intelligent thing as far as preserving one's life, but that's why I don't own a Dodge Hellcat. Vicarious says a commercial license will get you nowhere. You need hours and a commercial license before somebody would hire you. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. Traditional approach is to become a flight instructor to gain hours to become employable as a commercial pilot. Yeah. And the big problem is little helicopters cost like $500 an hour to run. Unless you own one, then it's a little bit cheaper. Well, actually a lot cheaper. It depends on the type of helicopter. Yeah, I didn't even know anything about that aspect of aviation, but I do know now that they are, let's just say I won't be owning a helicopter anytime soon. It'd be a fun goal to set for myself though, like to be able to own my own helicopter someday. That's pretty cool. I'm actually genuinely happy for my friend too, because he came from a very humble childhood, and I did too, but I had more things going for me. It's not like I came from wealth or anything like that, but he came from a really rough upbringing, and to see him succeed the way that he has, and just busting his butt for so many years to the point where now he's a successful guy. It motivates me is what I'm trying to get at. And I think it should motivate a lot of people too, that just because, you're not handed everything in life. If you work your butt off, I wouldn't necessarily say the sky's the limit, because let's be realistic here. I'm not going to become president anytime soon. If that's like the sky, but you can obtain a lot of or you can like succeed if you just set your mind to it and make a lot of sacrifices in life. My heart was being a pain, but I'm okay now. What's going on with you now, Big V? Well, I can't remember. You said, I thought I remember you bringing it up earlier or in another live chat, but I can't for the life of me remember what was going on. Vic for president? No, I don't. I would never want to be president. Like, no, thank you. I don't think I'd be. I mean, I don't know. I've met up with a guy who was a diplomat once, and I think I would rather be a diplomat than be a president. Because, yeah, that's just being a president. That's just too much weight. And half the country will always hate you, and I'd prefer not to have half the country hate me. Oh my gosh. RW Overlanding says, I made you something, but I don't know how to send it to you. That's a good question. I don't really have any, I don't have a P.O. box or anything set up like that. Are you going to be at the truck camper rally? You can meet me there. That'd be pretty cool. Big V says, nobody could hate you, Vic. I think there's plenty of people that could hate me. Fortunately, it's not too much of an issue. But yeah. Oh, Mike's Adventure Sparks. Hello, sir. Good to see you again. RW is not going to make it to the truck camper rally. That's too bad. Well, we'll figure out some way. I have been meaning to set up like a what do you call it? A Patreon account, or figure out how to tie my Venmo into my channel, because I've had several people that have been wanting to become like a channel member or something like that. I haven't really even looked into it enough. I should. I mean, if I'm taking this YouTube thing seriously, I dang well better start figuring these things out sooner than later. Not feeling as talkative as I normally am. That's not good. Kind of hard to have a live stream when it's just you in front of a screen and you're not feeling very talkative. Suffice to say, I don't think I'm going to be setting any records tonight with the length of this live stream. I think the current record for my live streams was 3 hours and 15 minutes, and I'll be surprised if I make it to like an hour and a half for this one. So just be prepared, folks. This one might be short and sweet adjacent. I don't know. Let's see here. We need a Zeta sighting. Oh, that's a good point. Let me see if I can figure out how to. Hey, Zeta, come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on over here. Over here. Come on. Over here. Over. Oh, there we go. Here you. Oh, and she's gone. Zeta. Zetas. Oh, hello. Hello. Hey, what are you doing? Hey. Hey. What? There we go. There you are. Hey. Oh. Hey. Hi. Hello, Zetas. Say hello to everybody. Yeah. Oh, good doggos. Oh, that's our good doggos. Hello. Yes. How's my doggos? Huh? Boop. Let's see here. So, where were we? Okay, so RW says, I'm waiting on a service-related disability payout from the VA. If I had it in time, I could have been there. Oh, dang it. Well, that's unfortunate. What was your MOS? I'm curious. Mary Fields asked, what am I drinking and what's for dinner? I am drinking, I found these. It's by a company called Mountains Walking. And it's Grazing Clouds Hazy IPA. And this might be my official favorite beer of all time. This is so good. I'm taking it easy though. This is my first one, and I'm only gonna have one more maybe. But delicious, very good beer. I better catch up to y'all. The chat is taking off. Heck yeah, that makes me excited. Thank you, Sarah and Take Girl. Appreciate that. Outdoor hobby guy, how are you doing? Thank you. I just showered and I put my face on. Yeah, I'm looking pretty good, if I might say so myself. I got to get these dang eyebrows to calm down a little bit. I got this like the Spock eyebrows, so they're super light, but the outsides always go like that and they go out. And yeah, I don't know why. I wish I had larger eyebrows. I'd like to have a little bit more facial expression. I think that eyebrows really help. Maybe I should start dyeing them or put a what's it called when you see it in the black community a lot when they weave. Yeah. Get a weave for my eyebrows. Let's see here. Scroll lock. Oh, that's for RW. That's a jumbling of words right there. Mentioned something about heart issues I'm dealing right now. Suited heart failure and working to get things strengthened up again. Holy cow, man. Or lady, sorry. Oh, I hope that all works out. Hearts are kind of important. Zeta, scroll lock. We got some inner chatting. 0311. I wasn't in the military, so I don't actually know what the numbers stand for, but 0311. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see here. Scroll lock. Once it's 10%, it's pretty easy to push to 70%. I haven't gotten one to coast. Took me at 50% to placate me initially. Lori got it to 100%. Wild Sunshine Crocheter asks, how's the weather your way? We got 11 inches and still coming down. It's been we haven't gotten really any snow. I think, we got a dusting last night of maybe a half an inch of snow, and it's just been cold. Not Midwestern cold, but it's been pretty chilly here. It's been sub-zero. But now it's starting to warm up again. But no weather coming at all. Like, I don't think that there is any weather in the near future. Yeah, we have nothing coming. And it's going to get up to like the 40s here, which is not a February at all in Montana. You have to go get some. Looks good. I'm trying. DD Crafty, she does not like the poop. She doesn't mind. Don't worry. She doesn't really care. Your MOS was 0311. Semper Fi scroll. You're a Marine. Okay. But what's a scroll? Sorry, I'm dumb. I'm just a civilian. Get the eyebrows tattooed. Yeah, not a bad idea. Mary says, I've been doing the boop to my dog. He looks at me like I've gone crazy. Josh Gurnett says, looking for Eugene Levy, Black Caterpillar eyebrows or Groucho Marx? Well, Groucho Marx, both of those are powerful eyebrows. I don't know if I could handle the power that those types of eyebrows would have. Like they'd take up so much of my face. I guess between the two, I would definitely have to say Eugene Levy because those are less of a caricature style eyebrow than than a real eyebrow. But good call. Like your eyebrows. RW says I'm a dude, Vic. My wife is Wild Sun Sean Crochet. You're right. My bad. I remember that now. 0311 is a grunt or a rifleman. Okay. So infantryman, basically, but for Marine. Which, by the way, I mean, like a Marine rifleman / grunt is dang near like an Army Ranger, from what I've gathered. The Marines don't mess around. Those guys are serious. Outdoor Hobby Guy says, any word on the next big meetup of the gang? By the way, it's -30 here. Holy cow, that's bitter cold. Yes. So, well, I think everybody else has said it, I'm pretty sure, but as far as I know, almost all of us are going to be meeting again at the truck camper rally. So, I am really excited about that, to see all my friends again. I miss them all a lot. RW says grunt would be a generic term. Rifleman is precise. Sarah says next week it's going to be 40s as well here in Idaho. Yeah, it's just, man, this has been a rough winter. It's not making me sad about leaving Montana at all, because it's just, yeah, it's. I might have mentioned this in my last live stream where I said, like, if there's not going to be any snow and it's just going to be cold or like, 40 degrees Fahrenheit and below, like, what's the point in being here? Everything is brown. Everything's closed down. You can't go into the woods. I mean, with a vehicle, unless you have a snowmobile, which I guess I can, but still, it's not that much fun. So I'd rather just go down to the desert and hang out in a nice warm area for a little while until winter hopefully comes back here. Big V says, tattoo your eyebrows black. Black eyebrows with my hair would just be preposterous. The Scrollock says, I don't know if you have the neck strength to have those eyebrows. Right? Like, I'd have to do exercises every day, practice. I don't have a very good neck either. Like, it got wrenched on a lot in my younger years, and doesn't take much for it to hurt a lot. Let's see here. Cheers from Colorado. We got another Coloradoan in here. That's crazy. Like, now we got 3 Coloradoans in here. I think the strongest presence of anybody stateside is in Colorado now, officially, I think. Although I think we have 2 Texans in here. RW says, I'm telling you, Vic, let the ear and eyebrows grow old man long and use them as a comb over. I want to get this long enough where I can bring it up and over. Yeah, just the long old man hair coming out of the ear. Yeah. Also, they always grow Isn't that true? Like your ears are one of the things that don't necessarily stop growing as you get older. I have a grandpa, my last surviving grandpa actually, although technically he's my step grandpa. He has got some gigantic ears. They are huge. RW says knock it on. Oh, Stormbug, good to see you too. RW says not gonna lie, Vic, the new camper is quite spacious, right? Like it's not bad. It's got 17 slides. Yep, it slides out every direction almost. Very impractical. And it weighs like 40,000 pounds, but that's okay. I drive a Ram 5500. It can handle it. Hi, Brooke. Corn cobs say ice fishing? No. This is my rental house that fill you in very briefly. I'm going back to full timing on the road come mid-March. So I figured I'd show this off one time and one time only before I don't live in it anymore. RW says, has anybody heard from the Joneses? I talked to him a few weeks ago. Yeah, he's still around. Or they're still around. I'm looking forward to his next video, though. I miss his videos. Shadow Rays says, Sergeant Veteran 84 through 93, long range surveillance military intelligence. Cool. That sounds like a cool occupation. 31C, communications. I remember hearing a story about a guy who was a Vietnam vet who was in communications, and they set up their radar towers, I think use microwave. And he said, like, you got to make sure that you stay well away from where they project it because they will literally cook you, which is insane. And also, as far as communications go, I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but I went down some random YouTube rabbit hole the other day, and it turns out that, AM radio stations, you don't want to touch those towers because the last thing that you're ever going to hear is Christy the Wordsmith on NPR, because what happens is that it like short circuits, and then through the electricity that will roast you alive, it actually transmits the sound of whatever they're playing on AM radio, which is both fascinating and terrifying at the same time. Another Arizona here. Okay, so it sounds like, oh yeah, Destination Desert said 3 from Arizona. So it looks like Arizona's catching up to Colorado. Now we're tied. Airborne, nice. Brooke says, I over-trimmed my eyebrows a few years back and I had to put up with my family asking why I looked so surprised for a couple weeks. Josh Kernett says Arizona. That's number 4 now, isn't it? Arizona's taking the win. Sarah says it's like a trailer, right? Yeah, I really should figure out how to finish out my my cargo trailer, my 8x21 cargo trailer, because it sure would be nice to have some extra wiggle room. RW says I need to get the great big eyelashes. Oh God, ew! Like the ones that they put on the VW Bug, just a giant. Sue says, "Is it true that your ears and nose never stop growing?" That's what I was wondering too. Scrollog says it's a myth. The cartilage just gets all rubbery and everything looks bigger as it sags. Oh. Plus your face gets more gaunt as you age. Well, I hope so, because I could use a little bit of a face diet. I'm kind of puffy right now. I'm a little bit on the fat side. Well, not a little bit. I'm fat right now. The struggle is real. I am a slave to my palate. What can I say? Donna says, "Hi Vic, it's 29 in Houston, Texas, which is super cold for us. A comb over would look nice on you." I actually did have. Oh, I could probably find it on my phone. I grew out my hair long enough because I was trying to grow it out for my driver's license photo. But I grew out my hair for, I think it was 4 or 5 months, and it was the first time that I had grown out my hair since, I don't know, I was 21 or so, and I was able to get a comb over, and it looks ridiculous. But it would probably take me 5 minutes to find it on my phone. Or maybe not that long, but I don't want to, start looking on my phone like I'm anyway, I'm not going to make an analogy about that. Gonna go make my kid a scramble BRB. All right, well, I'll see you in a little bit here. And also, yeah, 29 in Houston, Texas. That sounds pretty dang cold. Shadow Ray says, I started off as an AM radio teletype and learned microwave and then satellite when I got out. Keep away from the microwave antennas. Truth, right? Yeah. Another Colorado here, just quietly listening. Well, hi, hiker girl. All right, so it's 4-4 right now. We got Colorado and Arizona. It's still a tie. Kevin says nobody from Canada here other than Kevin Wald. Yeah, it's kind of surprising. Usually there's at least a few of the old Canadians in my chat room. Vic's phone gave me tinnitus. I might be a little lost on that. Although I do have tinnitus. I can hear my ears ringing. Oh, the ding. Sorry. That was actually my computer that dinged. Gaston. Well, hey, Gaston. It's been a long time since I've seen you. I'm nice and warm, sipping coffee in the Arizona desert. The hell with the cold weather. Stormbug, Idaho. Shadow Rays is keeping up the tab. Colorado 4. Let's go. And there's Mr. Kevin Wald again. The Donna Ohana says, hi, it's 20 degrees with light snow in Athens, Texas. It's like as cold in Texas as it is in Montana right now. This is just crazy. Scroll Luck says, I'm a Canadian citizen, dual citizen. I was born in Fort Nelson, but only stayed until I was 5. I guess that technically counts. But do you live in America? Because if you live in America, that makes you an American. Let's see here. Oh, Big V. Thank you so much. You rock. You rock, Big V. I'm going to heart that. I missed the last super chat. So sorry, Psychmeister, for the super chat. I didn't love it. I mean, I didn't heart it. I apologize in advance. Or I apologize. I've been distracted. Let's see here. Destination Desert says it's cold in their house, 70 degree, and sipping on nice, hot, best decaf. Pete's Dark Roast. 70 degrees is not cold at all. Well, you're being sarcastic, obviously. I have my thermostat set on this. In this house, I have it set at 63 degrees, and I would keep it at 60, but I want to make sure that the lines and everything don't get too cold. Kim Vanderland says, excited to see the Red Button reunion at the rally. I hope you guys invite Saucy Seth for the next meetup. He's a young kid with many younger followers, but has built many of his campers. Saucy Seth. I've never heard of that before. I think I remember seeing I think I remember seeing somebody comment about Saucy Seth during Truckhouse Life's premiere earlier today. Oops, I'm gonna put it in my phone so that I don't forget, because otherwise I know I'll forget. Saucy. Oh, I've seen that thumbnail of his OBS Ford before. I haven't watched any of his videos yet. But holy cow, he's got 59 videos and 85.6 thousand subscribers. Man, he's doing something right. Holy cow. It must be that youthful face. Let's see here. Kevin said, I had to find a new camping spot. What happened to the camping spot that you were at, Kevin? Also, have you gotten to the hot springs that I was talking about that you should hit up? I'm curious. Explore the wild. Vic, where's the river? Also, hey, Kevin, the river is just a few short miles that way and that way. They're all over the place around here, actually. Let's see here. Red 250, Lance camper. I feel the struggles on the older rig. I have a 82 Chevy with a 90s truck camper. Well, at least an 80s truck. That's a good year for a Chevy. That's actually one of my more favorite years as far as Chevys go. My favorite Chevy truck is 1969 through 1972 Chevy C20. Those are beautiful trucks. I really want to get one someday because they're just a good looking truck. They probably ride like an absolute lumber wagon, but they'd be a cool truck to like fix up. Yeah, and I don't know, throw a 12 valve Cummins into it or something. Let's see here. RW, do you have some way we can contact you privately? I have an email address in the description of my channel. So you can reach out to me via that email address, which I believe is vicdownbytheriver@yahoo.com. Poor Kevin. Okay, let's see. Having a fail of a video today. I did get to them. They were packed. Going to try to sneak in tomorrow morning. Oh yeah, it's a Sunday. That's right. Yep. Monday I'll be a lot quieter. We'll talk later, and I'm hoping that. Well, I told you that I'm keeping it as anonymous as possible. Sorry, folks. The one that's smaller and there's only one hot spring instead of a bunch of hot springs. That one I would definitely recommend camping at the trailhead. Because I don't know, for some reason it seems a little bit quieter right there, even though you're right next to the road. Oh, let's see here. Explore the Wild says, I love the rig. It's so simple to work on. And mine's at K20. It's a rough ride. Even with the truck camper, it's a rough ride. Yeah, I do also. The simplicity thing is a very nice feature to have. That being said, I'm not very mechanically knowledgeable, so it wouldn't help me that much. But being able to diagnose, say like say you have a bad distributor cap or something like that, it's pretty easy. Or you have bad sparks, like, replace the spark plugs. If the spark plugs are bad, then the distributor cap might be out, or the wiring from the distributor cap, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it's so much more simple than what I've got going on with my truck. And it's just, you need to have an electrical engineering degree just to be able to learn, just to know how to be able to pop the hood, let alone looking at this motor in utter confusion. Like, why does this have to be so complicated? Got it. Thanks for the super chat, RW. Appreciate it. Let's see what you said. Oh, make sure to love it. Love. And thumbs up, everybody. Thumbs up that super chat. It's very kind of you. And you said, why is it not letting me thumbs up? That's weird. Huh. I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Big V says, Kevin is a mechanic. You did well fixing your truck. Yeah, Kevin's actually pretty dang handy. I am a little bit envious of how much or how handy he is with that kind of stuff. I'm very illiterate when it comes to mechanicking and things of that nature. White Teasdale, hey, it's good to see you. Canadians traveling from Gaspé, Quebec to Arizona. Oh, you're finally hitting the road. I remember you reached out to me several weeks ago. So good to hear. Good to hear that you're making your way down to Canada, or to Arizona for warmer pastures. I'm gonna turn some lights on in here. It's starting to get a little bit dark. All right. Don't leave me. I'm not going anywhere, I promise. Just got to work on the ambiance. Hey. What? You want to come up? Here. Let's have Zeta captain the chair. Come on up. Hey. Up. Up. There we go. There you go. What a good dog. Look at you. Stay there. Get some backlighting here. Oh no! That was almost bad. All right. All right. Where was I? We're almost to 100. Holy cow. I haven't hit triple digits on a live chat in a long time. Actually, I think I might have. I think I only hit over 100 one time. So thank you everybody for, and then 3 people leave. I'm done. But yeah, I'm actually surprised. This is kind of cool. Like, what a trip it is, to have almost 100 folks just to get to kind of hang out with. I've brought this up on live streams in the past, where I'm like, it's cool, to have like almost 100 people just watching a live stream, but at the same time, it's like, it's just me sitting here all awkwardly, like Ricky Bobby, like, I don't know what to do with my hands. But anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. This is getting more fun. 97. We're almost to 100. Come on, 100. Let's see here. Where was I? Okay. Explore the Wild. I have the 9,500 gross value weight rating springs. Holy cow. I only dropped about an inch with the full camper. Those 5,500 springs are complex. We use them at work. Dang, I wish I would have known that you got the 5,500 springs. I've got, if anybody out there wants some 5,500 springs, like to put on your Toyota Tacoma or something like that, I've got a brand new set. I'll sell them to you real cheap. Let's see here. Stocked to Tennessee because of the bad weather. Stopped in Tennessee because of the bad weather. Yeah. Star of the show. There's Zeta. Yeah, she's snoozing on the couch over here now. Just a snoozing, isn't she? So cute. Oh, just look at her over there, just taking a little nappy. Let's see here. Does my human have food for me? Yeah, she gets fed here in just a little bit after we're done with the live chat. And we hit 100. Woo! Let's see here. Utah in the house. We got a Utah in here. Heck yeah. and Angie Agnew. Hey, Angie. It's good to see you again. Let's see here. How's the weather up there and up in the Great White North there, Miss Agnew? Kim Vanderland says Kevin is super knowledgeable and willing to share it. It all sounds like German to me, but I'm sure a ton of his viewers appreciate it. Yeah, he's a pretty smart guy. Arizona next week. Heck yeah. DD says 100. Larry's mini truck camper could use 5,500 springs, says Kevin Wald. Oh my gosh, dude. That'd be so bad. Like my truck, those springs are just so ridiculously stiff. It took, I think it was 7,000 pounds for my truck to start riding smooth on the rear leaf pack, just to get them to start riding smooth. That's how stiff those dang things are. I mean, the leaf pack is like that tall. I think there's 13 leaves on it. It's preposterous. Oh, let's see here. We have hundreds. Woo! And now we're down to 90, but that's okay. So glad that Nat went to the roundup, or is going to the roundup. Really enjoy your videos, Kevin's videos. Work less, enjoy it. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. We all appreciate it. Dida says, Vic, I enjoy watching your videos and how you bring the lighter side of life into things. Please keep doing what you're doing. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I had one guy comment on my last video. He said, it wasn't even like that bad of a troll, but it's kind of a silly thing to say. He said something to the effect of, I really like your truck and your setup, but I'm getting really tired of this whole Three Stooges bit. And it's like, okay, so what you're saying is you really like my material stuff, but you don't like me as a person. That's good. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I mean, I didn't take it personally because, you know, on social media of any type of social media, you can't take things personally. I just thought that was such a silly thing to say. I'm going to angle you up here for 1 second. Look at the mountain line. And they're over there. So all this stuff that's inside of this, you know, this house is none of it's my own. Like I didn't shoot that mountain line up there. And then over here, I don't know if the camera could pick it up well enough, but this is you guys ever watch the Addams Family? So this guy, I guess he shot Cousin It, because that is definitely looks like Cousin It. R.I.P. Cousin It. Isn't that what he sounded like? Anyway. Oh, we got a count right here. We got Canada 1, Utah 1, Colorado 4. But Arizona is still in the lead to my knowledge. For those who just tuned in recently, we've got a count of how many which state is winning as far as like how many folks are in here from each state. And right now it's tied with Colorado at 4 and Arizona at 4. And then I think Texas is actually doing pretty well too. There's quite a few Texans in here. Angie says, so Angie, she's a friend of mine. She lives way up in northern Montana. And I asked her how the weather is, and she says it's cold. So there you go. RW says, I'm wearing shoes. They're soaked. Oh, you had to shovel snow. Ugh, I hate shoveling snow. Like, as far as anything in the north, that is my least favorite thing to have to do. RW says, I hate everyone in warm weather right now. Mimi, hi Vic and Zeta. I'm Wide Teasdale's spouse, logging in so you can have more audience. Well, thank you. And we got another Canadian in the house. So now, So we got Wyatt Teasdale and Mimi, who's Teasdale's spouse. So that's 2. We got Kevin Wald. And then we got one more. I know there's one more Canadian here, right? I'm forgetting. I'm pretty sure. So now we're up to, we got a 3-way tie right now. Let's see here. Julianne. Oh, hey, Julianne. It's good to see you. You're not too late. I'm only an hour and 20 in, and I'm going to keep this thing going for a little bit longer. So we're still good. New Jersey, Robert. New Jersey is not in the lead. I hate to tell you. Neither is Massachusetts, but at least you're here. You're doing a lot better than, say, Rhode Island or Maine, because they're at batting 0 right now. Vic, I like you as a person. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Tamo. Hey, I can chat now. I emailed you informing you that I was here, but couldn't join the chat. Don't know why. Hi, Kevin. You're not alone. Another Canuck here. There we go. Canada's in the lead, folks. Or no, it's 4. We got 4 Canadians. 4 Canadians. 4 Arizonans. And then, shoot, I forgot who else. Sorry. My brain's fried right now, apparently. But I'm glad to hear that you can chat now, Tamo. Awesome. Dida says 3 Stooges are classic. Yeah, going back to that, it's like, I don't mind being on the same level as 3 Stooges. They're pretty dang funny, in my opinion. Arizona 6. Holy cow. Okay, so Arizona's winning. Sarah Take Girl says he got a Yeti and a American goat. Just one Idaho, I think. No, that's not a Yeti. That's not a Yeti. That is Cousin It. And then, yep, there's a mountain goat up there too. Billy Goat. It's kind of funny. Like the first time that I ever moved in here, my dog would be sitting on the couch, which is right over here. And then the goat's right up there. And we had been in this house for probably 2 weeks. And then one day she's laying on the couch and she looks up. She starts barking. Like, we've been here for weeks and he now finally see the goat that's up there. She's what I call book smart. So she's a smart dog, but she's not street smart. She's a book smart dog. Okay, so Canada, we got another one in Canada, Alberta. North California here, please don't block me. No, it's okay. I love North California. It's beautiful. Especially once you get away from the coast. Although the coast is beautiful too. Like California gets a lot of crap, but I've traveled enough in the states to know that there's good people in every state and beautiful places in every state too. Like I would have never thought that Oklahoma is as beautiful as it is if it wasn't for runaway parents. Like some of the camp spots that they hit up after the RBR, I'm just blown away. Like, wow, it is spectacular down there. Teasdale says, I saw your recent snowmobile video. Really liked the way you two tied snowmobiles together. Have you tried the Snowhawk? I've never tried the Snowhawk before. And also, I think they stopped making the Snowhawk back in the early 2000s. They did look cool. They were kind of like the precursor to a timber sled bike. Hi, Buckthorn from Minnesota. Good to see you. And Alabama, Jeff Godsey. And another Arizonan. Let's see here. 2 Minnesota-ers, 2 Idaho. Psychmeister asked, but which province? So, well, Kevin's kind of mobile, so can't quite pin down Kevin. to any particular province, but I know that he's from Alberta originally, right, Kevin? But yeah, we got 2 Albertans, Quebec, two from Quebec, the White Teesdale, and then I think I'm missing one. Or 2, actually. We got Texas and California and Laura from Wisconsin. Stormbug says Booksmart are the cutest. They can't find their way out of a wet paper bag, but they sure can draw up a cool schematic of the design of the paper bag itself. Donna says, bye, Vic. Football is calling me. Love your content. I appreciate that. And thanks for swinging by. I wasn't sure like how this is going to conflict with, because I know that football happens on Sunday a lot. And thanks for stopping by regardless. Tamo says, yeehaw, let's go Canada. Kevin, BC, me, Manitoba, the Quebec couple, 1-1, and then one from Alberta. RW says, did you see that, Vic? Donna rates you less important than a football. That's okay. I'm not going to take it that personally. I'm tired of the clear skies. It's not right, says Scrolllock, because he's in Oregon. Yeah, Oregon gets cloudy. Well, I guess it kind of depends on what part of Oregon you're from. Like if you're on the east side of the Cascades, it's probably a lot more sunny. Explorer says Snowhawk was rad, hard to get the handle on, but rad. Yeah, I would actually love to try out a Snowhawk because those things, they look like they'd rip. They look like kind of like a crotch rocket with a track behind it. Let's see here. Kevin Wald says I pay Alberta taxes. And trap your heart. I missed that part. Tamo says there's good people everywhere. Good souls attract good people. That says everything about you. Well, thank you. RW says, thanks, Vic. No, I've got tinnitus in both ears now. I can use that to boost my VA rating. Actually, let me turn down the volume on my computer so that you don't have to hear the dinging. I didn't even think of that until now. Explore the wild. I'm based in Alberta, but am mobile. I live in my truck camper full time. Well, heck yeah, you and I both here soon, and Mr. Kevin Wald. Shoot, we got a super chat from Shadow Rays, Brian, Colorado. Keep it up. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Shadow Rays. That's cool. Really, thank you very much. Beaverton, Scrolllock. Beaverton sounds like a Canadian place. Tamo says that's a very nice place you're living in. So I got a text from a friend of mine, and she's watching the live stream right now. She asked me what the major life changes are. So I'll mention it briefly because I've said it like 4 times now in the live stream. But so I'm losing my house. Come mid-March, I am officially houseless again. So that's kind of the life change that I'm going to be going through. So yeah, kind of bummed out, but at the same time, at least it's in mid-March and not in, mid-December, because half the winter's pretty much gone already, and it won't be too bad to figure out what to do next. Let's see here. Yes, it's my 17 slide camper. Let's see here. Rick Klum. Hey, Rick. Hope you keep doing what you're doing, Rick from Wisconsin. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I do plan on keep on doing what I'm doing. Tamo says, have you heard how Mike and Twyla survived the storm? They were on here earlier and they said that the part of Oklahoma where they're at, they got an inch of ice and 4 inches of snow on top of that. But it sounds like they're doing okay. I don't think that storm was quite as bad as what they were hyping it up to be, and that's a good thing because that could have been really bad for hundreds of millions of people. Let's see here. Skedaddle says, I love the videos. Don't change anything. Got my daughter watching you too. Well, thank you. That's awesome. Scroll Lock, I'll take your potatoes when I pass through Idaho in a few months. Robert says, I like your humor. It makes your channel unique. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I try to stay as true to myself as I possibly can be. And I'm, well, as anybody from the RBR can attest, I'm definitely the same person in real life as I am on film. Maria says, hey, Vic, I didn't realize you were live until now. Good to see you. I remember. Yeah. And you actually, oh my gosh. Remember when I was saying about how I'm terrible about emails? Yeah. I need to respond to that email you sent me a week ago or something like that. Yeah, I'm bad. Sorry. Let's see here. Explore the Wild says the truck camper is more rad than a house anyway. Home is wherever you park it. In a lot of ways, yes, I agree. But in some aspects, like when I'm trying to be a carpenter, and yeah, it makes it tricky. I do have the travel trail or the job site trailer, which helps a lot, but like having a stable place where I have my own garage and a heated shop where I can tinker around. Like the last 3 weeks, I've basically been making cutting boards and just trying to stay proactive about the lack of employment or the lack of work that I've been finding. So yeah. Vicarious also lives in his camper full time. That's right. My bad. So yeah, we got 4 full timers all up in this place that have truck campers. Let's see here. Truck campers more. Oh, okay. RW says we're sitting at 13 inches and it's still snowing faster than I watch other people shovel. Holy cow. I'm kind of feeling mixed about that because when I pack up and I'm making my way south, it'd be really nice to not have to go through a winter storm and drive on a sheet of ice to get down to the Southwest, because that is it's already stressful enough driving this setup anywhere. It's a lot of weight, and it's like if something were to happen, it'd be really tricky to be able to get back into, even a setup that is, well, not similar to it, but it'd be tricky to get everything back again. Insurance companies, I'm sure, would just, they'd be like, oh yeah, we estimate a value of all of your stuff is $3,000. So here's a check. Let's see here. Maria, no worries. Thank you. Explore the Wild says we got a 1.5 feet over 24 hours west of Rocky Mountain House, Alberta. It felt quick. Huh. Angie, I can't really respond to like texts via my phone. You can just I'm guessing you can't, or you can respond on the live stream, right? It'd be a lot easier for me. And it'll give me something to talk about too. Tamo says, I'm sorry to hear about your situation. I've been there already. You will come out on the lighter, more relaxed and relief side of all of it. Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's my first time that I've ever been in that situation before. I've I've spent more than my fair share of being in much worse situations than I will find myself come mid-March. So, and also, when I got this place, I knew it was only a matter of time until I was not going to be living here anymore. And I had kind of set a plan in my head where as soon as I went full time on YouTube, I would actually go out like Kevin Wall does and just live in my truck camper, because it makes this lifestyle channel so much more easy when you're just there 24/7. But yeah, it happened a little bit quicker than I was anticipating. So give me 1 second. Sorry. We'll chat here in a bit after live stream. Sorry, I'm still here. Sorry. Let's see here. Cheers from Scott City, Kansas. Love your show and your doggo's so beautiful. Well, thank you, Kale Moses. Appreciate that very much. Angie says I make beautiful cutting boards. Well, thank you. Yeah, I've got a bunch of them right over here, actually. It's been, I didn't realize how much work it would be. Like, I know I've made many cutting boards over the years, but I started making end grain cutting boards, which is much more like, as far as like sanding processes go, holy cow, because end grain is much harder. So it's better in a lot of ways for cutting board in certain aspects, but sanding them down is way more work. And yeah, I had to make 7 of them. And yeah, I've been doing a lot of shop work in the last 3 weeks, but I finished the last one today, and now I can finally move my wood shop to the side of my shop and then get my truck in there, because I've got a bunch of stuff to install on my truck you'll see in my videos coming up. I've got some sponsors coming. So yeah, I'm going to be doing some sponsored content. So I hope that's okay with everybody. It's going to be relatively short and sweet, like 60 to 90 second ads inside of my videos. But yeah, if I'm going to be doing this YouTube thing, I need to start being proactive and start, accepting sponsorships and become more proficient at doing ad reads, so that one day I'll get the bigger sponsorships, like Bowen Customs flatbeds. Someday I can get a Bowen Customs flatbed. Let's see here. Jeff Godsey says, have you ever thought about building out vans, school buses, etc.? Not really. I mean, the thought has crossed my mind. I like the concept of taking like a composite shell flatbed truck camper that's just an empty shell and building it out from scratch. That would be kind of fun. And it'll actually get my head into the whole RV tech scene, which would make me a better owner of my truck camper, or the one that I would build out. I guess what I'm trying to say is yes, but no. Like, I haven't really thought about like the buses and the vans so much as I've thought about those cool overlanding composite shell truck boxes, like you see the OEVs, I think is what one company's called, or Earth Roamer. You can't just buy their box, but same concept. Like, it'd be neat to be able to have one of those and build it out. Oop, pardon me. Let's see here. Big V says my microwave has gone off again. Okay. RW says, if you're interested, we're looking at getting some land in Arizona and could hire your services to build some smaller buildings on your property. Well, that might actually be something that interests me. So yeah, let's keep in touch. That actually sounds like a fun project. Although I don't do concrete. That's the one thing that I do not do. Try to stay away from that, and sheetrock. Explore the Wild says it's definitely harder when those things come around. I'm thankful that I choose to go full time and prepped for it, but I get what you mean having that shop and stuff too. Also, I think my end is delayed and isn't live at the moment. Yeah. So there's probably been at least a couple commercial breaks, and then there will be however long the commercials last. We'll bring it back that many seconds. That's what I found when I'm watching other people's live streams. Look at that. Hour and 40 minutes, and I finally am cracking beer number 2. Look at how responsible I am. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Tamo says, my YouTube is really acting up. Just got booted. Maybe we're getting a winter storm that I'm not aware of. So there's another person that's having some problems with the live. Is anybody else having problems? Because it seems like everything's working fine from my end. So I don't know. Maria says, I wanted to say in a previous live that your cutting boards are absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Maria. Appreciate it. Sorry about your work situation and having to move out of your house. Yeah, it is a bummer. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty bummed by it, but I've had enough time to just kind of absorb it and accept that that's just what's going to happen, and it's fine. It is what it is, as the cliche saying goes nowadays. Let's see here. Have you ever been to Little Jerusalem Badlands north of Scott City, Kansas? I have not, actually. I've never technically been to the southeast. So the furthest south I've gone, like as far as the Midwest, is Nebraska. And then the furthest east I've ever gone was North Carolina. So that whole southeast I've never been to before, and I would love to go there someday. I think it'd be fun. I think that there'd be a lot of interesting characters that I could meet, and yeah, it seems like a really cool place down there. You do whatever you do. You can be like that. You can be like the next Jared from Subway. Have you not, as far as current events go, Jared from Subway isn't exactly anything that anybody should ever like aspire to be. He's not a very good person, it turns out. I mean, he lost a lot of weight, but I kind of lost on that one. Mimi says, we would be interested in purchasing one of your cutting boards, any chance? So I had actually had a conversation with Kenny about that. And yes, I considered maybe trying to sell cutting boards via my channel, because I'm sure there's more than a few folks that would like to buy them. But the problem is I'm not going to have a workshop in a month and a half. And I mean, in a week or so, I'm on the road, and I'm not, by the time I get back here, I'm going to have to pack everything up and put it into storage. So I would say, like, had I not gotten this baddish news a week ago, I would say I would absolutely make you a cutting board. But yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to do any woodworking with not having my setup anymore, which is a huge bummer because I was really starting to enjoy it. And I've got a ton of wood that now I'm just going to be like putting it into a storage and then hopefully getting to it one day, including 2 14'7" slabs of walnut that are at least 2 feet wide. They go all the way to 32 inches wide, and they're 14'7" a piece. And I'm like, where the heck am I going to put those? Like, they would make such a beautiful table. And I've got a bunch of other pieces that are like 8-9 feet tall. They weigh over 100 pounds a piece. And yeah, everything's going into storage. And well, hopefully I'll be able to use them someday. Let's see here. Stu Gerber says, just don't end up like Jared. Yeah, well, I don't have to worry about that. Like, well, the one thing definitely, but as far as like the weight gain, yeah, I maxed out at, I don't even know how did this conversation even come up? Why are we talking about Jared from Subway? Like, are we talking about weight gain or anyway? Like, I'll never be able to get that fat. Even when I'm not active, I'd have to put in some serious effort to get to however fat that guy was. He was like 400 pounds or something. Explore the Wild says, I have premium, so I don't see the ads. However, the snow falling, I think it's giving me short drops on my Starlink. Oh, yep, it could be there. I have noticed how Starlink does delay a little bit in like super cloudy or snowy weather. Julianne says, still in the storm here in Virginia. Live stream's fine. Cool. Tamo says, I'm chuckling. You're getting another beer. I'm getting another coffee. Yeah, it's a little late for coffee for me. So Jeff's not having any problems. That's good. Explore the Wild says, bushcraft cutting boards. Also, if you could change anything with your truck camper setup, what would it be? There are several things. It kind of all comes down to money. As far as being able to change things, I would say one thing that I would love to change is I would like to have a different flatbed. And also the method of how the flatbed is mounted to the frame. So this company out of Colorado makes this really cool mounting style where your flatbed has springs as connection points. So when you're off-roading and your frame starts twisting and articulating, there's less strain on the camper that's sitting on it to be stressed by the flexing and torsion and twisting of the frame itself. So that'd be one thing that I would love to change, is definitely not having this flatbed. Like, if I were to be able to go back and, go back to the point where I got that PJ flatbed and I got a skirted flatbed, I would have said, just give me a regular flatbed instead of a skirted flatbed, because that skirted flatbed makes it a lot more difficult to be able to access pretty much anything underneath my truck. And also, as far as like cleaning, it's so much more of a pain in the butt with the skirted flatbed. So I would say just a basic flatbed would be even better than the skirted. Although I do like the compartments. It gives me a lot more space. Let's see here. Whew. Okay. All right. RW says, don't worry, brother. I lost 150 pounds, but unfortunately found them all again, right? The struggle is real. It always happens to folks of, well, it comes down to the body type. So I don't know a lot about this, but basically there are 3 body types that humans have. So they're called a endomorph, which is me, and a lot of folks like me, where it's very easy for us to put on muscle, but it's also very easy for us to put on weight, fat. I think it as far as like when you go back a couple 100 years or 100 years, it's a very efficient body type to have because you absorb everything. So that makes it efficient. But in times like now where we're living a relatively luxurious life in the first world, it's very easy to let that weight get a little bit carried away. The other type is ectomorph, which is just imagine like the tall or like the lanky but muscular folks. Just imagine like somebody who's a marathon runner. They're always just thin and fit, and they can never gain weight no matter what they put on. And then the third type is a mesomorph, which is just somebody who all they have to do is like look at weight, like lifting weights. They just look at it and then immediately they have a six pack. They'll always be ripped their whole lives. In a lot of ways, it's like the luckiest of the three body types. But come any famine, endomorphs, we're going to rule because we have a very efficient body type. Let's see here. Where are we? Let's see here. It's all about sugar and still drink beer, down 48 pounds. Dang, dude. Good for you, KLM or KL Moses. That's awesome. Yes, and sugar's the devil. It really is. It's not a good thing to be addicted to sugar or simple carbohydrates. It's not good for you. Or frankly, beer's not great either. If I'm being transparent and honest with myself, yeah, beer's not great for me at least. But it just tastes so good. And my face is just so nice and full and plump. I do it for my dimple. Which side is it? There it is. Here. Somebody complimented me on my dimple the other day. Big V says, Vic, you need to go visit Larry. He has plenty of room. Yeah, I'm actually, we're obviously Big V, we're all going to be hanging out with Larry, and I can't wait. I miss Larry. Larry's like the second guy that I ever did a collab with. First was Kenny of All Trades. Which, by the way, if any of y'all haven't seen our collaborations together, I consider it the highlight of my, one of the highlights of my goofiness. I was quite proud of the first couple minutes of our collaboration. Let's see. RW says technically instant coffee isn't coffee. Actually, instant coffee is technically coffee because I found out the process of how they make instant coffee, where they basically just brew coffee and then they like freeze dry the water. So obviously the water goes away, but you're left with crystals. That's freeze dried coffee. So it is technically coffee. It's dried coffee. It's a dried cup of coffee. Susie says, we've just gone through the same thing as your living situation, and I wasn't handling it well until I heard a quote. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. Always the way you look at it. I mean, that's a fair point. Yeah, I mean, I've been put in this situation enough times in my life to kind of just be okay with it. And also, being put into the circumstance, sometimes not my fault, a lot of times my fault. I've prepared for it, hence the truck camper and the setup that I have so that if it ever happened again, which it will here in a month and a half, I'm much more prepared for it. Like, it's not going to be bad to be living full-time in a truck camper, especially like my truck camper. I like it. Explorer the Wild says, see, I've been heavy tossing the idea around of either getting the box or going to a flatbed. I love the look and idea of a flatbed, but not sure why'd you go flatbed versus normal bed. So the Ram 5500 and the 4500 and also the Ford 550 is chassis cab only. So you like unless you have a custom made truck bed to be made to fit the chassis of 5500 or an F550, like what EOG, I think it's called, Elevation Off Grids in Colorado. They can make custom flatbeds to make it look like it's just a regular truck. Not flatbeds, I'm sorry, regular truck beds to make it look like it's a regular truck. But that insanely expensive. So yeah, you had to put something back there, and flatbed's the easiest thing to do, and it's the most practical as far as finishing out a chassis cab build. So that's why I went that way. I will say that as far as like flatbed versus truck bed goes, flatbeds they have their positives, as far as like when you take off a truck camper. If you're hauling materials and you have to put the materials onto your flatbed, it's a lot easier with like a forklift to just go onto the side and you don't have bed rails to worry about. But that being said, if you're hauling smaller stuff, now all of a sudden you have to figure out, okay, how am I going to strap this down to just a deck instead of having walls and a tailgate? And it's kind of a love-hate relationship when it comes to that. Robert says it'd be cool if you did a deeper off-road demonstration of your truck. You're the only guy I follow that really puts liquid springs through the test. How much does it sway off-road? So yes, I agree. I want to do more content with that, and I do plan to. Part of the problem of why I'm really not pushing it is, well, the places where I've went in the past, if I somehow broke down or like I flopped my truck in those areas, it would be devastating financially to get rescued from those areas, to the point of quoting, was it the Tiger King? I will never financially recover for this. I would never financially recover from this. It's kind of what would happen like if I messed up in those areas. So I would love to test it out more if I can find places where if an incident occurs, it's a lot easier to rescue. And also having other people around, which those areas where I went to this last summer, there really wasn't anybody around that would be able to rescue me if something happened. But also, it's pretty destructive to my vehicle. Like that's I'm really beating up my vehicle when I go out and do that stuff. That being said, I love to do it and I love making content about it. So it's kind of just accepting the fact that things might break or you might damage this or that. And then the other problem is, remember earlier when I was talking about how Bowen Customs makes a really cool flatbed where it's got this torsion setup that minimizes the amount of twist that is passed through to your camper. I think that is actually causing some potential damage to my truck camper by not having that set up on my current flatbed, where everything is just bolted down to the frame. So all that twist just transfers right up into the camper. So that's one of the other reasons why I'm a little hesitant to push things a little bit more. And then as far as, I think you had said something about sway. So yeah, the liquid springs with the sway. So that's an interesting thing as far as that goes. I did contact Liquid Springs, and you see in some of my videos where there was some sway at lower speeds. Well, that's because the computers aren't necessarily designed to shut off the bypass valves at low speeds. So it's kind of just an open valve rate at those lower speeds. So they actually sent me a sway bar for free, by the way. So shout out to Liquid Springs. They're freaking awesome. Awesome company. That's one of the things that I need to get my garage cleaned out for, because I need to get that thing installed before I head to Arizona. So the sway bar, the factory ones that come with the 5500, they're not big enough to account for that sway at the really low speeds. So they make, or they buy, or they have a supplier for a larger sway bar to put on your truck. That's supposed to take care of that. And I'm looking forward to being able to test that out here in the coming months, to see how that affects it. But that being said, the Liquid Springs at like higher speeds, say, I think like 10 miles an hour or above, if you make a very sudden movement, even with my truck camper on, their computers are incredible. I mean, the thing will track and there will be zero body roll. There's zero sway. It's a really cool design that those guys have. So I hope that answered your question mostly. Tamo says, Sunday Lives, Health and Body Type Survival Lessons by Thick. Jared says, as I sit here eating a couple waffles with some extra butter and syrup for dinner. Oh, that sounds so good. You know, the only way that could be any better is if you had some fried chicken with it. Has anybody never had fried chicken and waffles? Because it's a game changer. It's very popular down in the South. And yeah, I've only known about it for like the last 10 years or so of my life, and it is a game changer. Jared says, Kevin would be proud. Extra maple syrup. Go Canada. Rebecca says, I'm with you on the really blonde eyebrows. Has not darkened with age. Yeah, they are pale. RW says, are Nat Moran and Larry a thing now, or what's going on there? I'm not going to touch that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not saying anything about that. Sorry, RW. Sus Outdoors, hello. Vicarious says, I lost over 80 pounds by just quitting drinking alcohol and starting meth. Nice. Explore the Wild. I wasn't aware they stopped offering a long bed for the cabin chassis trucks. As far as I know, they've, like, the cabin chassis trucks, well, class 3 and class 2 might be a different story than like class 4 and 5, because class 4 and 5 trucks are the shortest ones that I've ever seen are a 60-inch cab to axle, which after you put a flatbed on it, it's basically like a 9'6" bed, which is definitely a long bed, which is what I am, or which is what I have. KL Moses says, ho, beer is so natural. Oh, yes. Oh, here we go. Benjamin Franklin. Old Ben Franklin said, beer is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy. Oh, good old Ben Franklin. Let's see here. I'm torn between bed or flatbed. Personally, the only cargo my truck sees is the camper. It was my off-road rig prior to the camper. On 35, steel bumpers and winch. Oh, excuse me. It's a great setup at the moment. Yeah, it's kind of a toss-up. You know, a lot of the problems with the flatbed too is that it's going to raise your camper. So you have to consider that too. I see some of those flatbed campers out there where, you know, the cab from the cab over to the cab of the truck, we're talking a foot up, and I'm just going, man, that's a lot. You just bumped up your center of gravity way higher. Kevin Wald says, I've recently seen like 2 videos of people who have flopped their truck campers off-road. Makes me real cautious with putting my home in silly places. Yeah, I actually, you need to send me those links, Kevin, because I want to see those. Maybe there's some lessons to be learned. Rooking Around says, Kevin Wald is one of my favorite YouTube people. Oh, Kevin. YT Dale says, do you prefer single wheel or double wheels at the back? For off-roading, I would say single wheels in the back. For just getting around on everything that's under like a rough forest service road, I would say I'd almost rather have dualies, just because having an extra tire back there gives a lot more peace of mind. And also, super single tires are preposterously expensive. I mean, I hope to God that I'm much more financially stable when the time comes to replacing these tires, because they are they're like $1,000 a piece for the tires. I mean, I don't have that kind of money anytime soon. So yeah, there's one of the big downsides as well of super singles. Let's see here. Rucking Around says, hey, Pickles. Kevin Wald? Kevin Wald, is that your new nickname now, Kevin? Are you Pickles? Oh, let's see here. Oh, shoot. Okay. Speaking of Larry, is there another Red Button Ramble plan, or are you planning to meet up at the Truck Camper Rally in Quartzsite? Yes. So it's kind of gonna be like an RBR. I think just about all of us are gonna be meeting down at the Truck Camper Rally. So it'll be kind of like a Red Button Ramble, except like we're not doing the whole thing that you saw from the RBR. We're all just gonna be hanging out, which, in my opinion, is pretty much just as good. Although winning free stuff is pretty awesome too, but that's not necessary. To be able to meet up with some wonderful people again. Corey Ellingson says, never had fried chicken and waffles. Oh, you're missing out, man. You need to experience fried chicken and waffles. Game changer. Let's see here. Sus Outdoors says, love your Maverick Can-Am. Thank you, Sus. I like it too for the most part. But I hate to say it, but I really, really wish that I had the newer version of it. And also in a 4-seater, because as much as I like the compactness of the 2-seater, it'd be really nice to be able to take out like both of my parents when I get to go and see them this winter. But now it's a 2-seater, so how in the heck am I gonna? Well, I'm obviously not gonna be able to cram both my parents into a 2-seater. And then also with the Truck Camper Rally and hanging out with all my friends again, I can only take one person at a time. So that's kind of a bummer. But the biggest thing that I wish that I had the newer version is that they changed the gear ratios in the transmission, so it's way lower. It's way better for rock crawling. This one is geared for like high speed desert runs, and don't get me wrong, that's fun too, but I like rock crawling more. Let's see here. Michael says, wife and I love your videos. Your humor's on point. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And also thanks to your wife. Rucking Around says, who here has a pop-up camper? I'm actually curious to know that too. I actually did own a Alaskan camper for about 1.5 years. It was a great camper. I loved that thing. Tamo. Oh no. Tamo dropped a bowl of fresh strawberries. Well, the good thing about strawberries is you can just rinse them off and they're still good, right? Big V has a pop-up. Yes, Big V does have a pop-up. Donna and Priya says, Vic, I highly suggest you jump on that Patreon thing. It could be a cool experience for you and your followers and help with the money. like paying for storage, etc. I don't disagree with that at all. I've been really thinking more along the lines of just maybe setting up like a Venmo. It seems easier, unless there's some sort of perks that folks like subscribers y'all can get from Patreon that I'm not aware of. I haven't read enough into it. I did glance at it a couple weeks ago, and there's kind of issues as far as them taking a pretty hefty chunk as being the middleman. I've heard like 10% that they want just for going, here's the money from these people that we give to you, and then they take 10%, and you're like, and then you add in, taxes after that, and now you have a 50% cut right off the top. So, but I guess that's just the game that we all have to play. So I appreciate it, Danya. Oh, just went to dark mode. Okay. Oh, let's see here. Robert, thank you for your answer. You're welcome. Kayla Moses says, is Kenny coming to courtside? No, Kenny's not coming to courtside, unfortunately. I wish he would. I miss Kenny. Muskeg skimming is fun. I don't doubt it one bit. I've watched my fair share of Osta Cruiser doing some muskeg skimming, and that does look like a blast. It looks like it smells, though. Robert says chicken and waffles are in New Jersey. Make it at home all the time. Oh, my gosh. I need to make some chicken and waffles. Wouldn't that be a cool video to make, chicken and waffles? RW says, I have a pop-up book. Does that count? Big V says, slow down. If you know, you know, right? My buddy, Explore the Wild, says, my buddy at Dreambuild Overland has a half-ton Ram with a Cummins swap and a flatbed with a pop-up. He put a Cummins and a half-ton Ram? I'm hoping that's like a 4BT and not a full-size. That's a lot of weight for a half-ton. You need to do some frame reinforcement for that conversion. Tamo says, okay, so we got the scoop on the strawberry situation from Tamo. Okay, she rinsed and dried them off and now enjoying them. There we go. We cannot waste strawberries in an economy like this, right? Explore the Wild, Dreambuild Overland. Rucking Around says, looking at a pop-up camper, so curious about people's experience. I don't have enough to say about people's experiences with pop-up campers. I would say my experience with the Alaskan camper was set up and tear down for an Alaskan is not like terribly time consuming. We're talking 5 minutes to set up and tear down, but then you've got all your stuff too. And then you have to like pack it into cupboards before you tear things down. But that being said, I do the same thing in my Northern Light. So like the only downside of having a pop-up, as far as like from my experience with an Alaskan camper, is the time it takes to pop it up and take it down. So I don't know. I liked it. I think it was a great camper. In a lot of ways, I'd love to have one again. I will say that if you're trying to full time with a pop-up, it makes it a little bit more difficult. And other types of pop-up campers like a Sunlight or things like that, if you're trying to camp with those things in Arctic environments or in very wet environments, it's makes things a lot more tricky. And you also have mold to deal with and cold too. They're a lot more drafty. Let's see here. Mimi says, you should make collaboration recipe with you and the fried chicken and Kevin with the waffle with his mini waffle maker. I forgot Kevin has a freaking waffle maker. That's a great idea. Oh, I'm gonna have to get some buttermilk, because that's the way to make fried chicken. Is you brine it in buttermilk for like a day, and then batter it. Ooh, that's a great idea, Mimi. Good call. Kevin Wald says, "I wish Kenny was coming too." Yep, you and me both, buddy. Also, if we say Kenny of all trades like 5 or 6 more times, he probably is going to pop up on the chat thread. Sarah Tank says, chicken and waffles for a dinner video. Oh, dude, Kevin, we're going to have to do it. Next time we see each other, we're going to have to make chicken and waffles. That sounds so good. Donna and Priya says, oh, my buddy Brian from Off Grid Backcountry Adventures. Oh, you're friends with Brian? I didn't know that. Is going to meet up with you and you guys in Quartzsite too. He's a very good friend and fun dude. I've heard a lot of good things about him. I look forward to meeting him someday. I think, yeah, I know I'll cross paths with him someday. I've heard great things, with the circle that we have. Nat tells me he's a great dude, and Larry tells me he's a great dude. So hopefully our dogs can get together or get along well, which I'm sure they will. It seems like his new dog, I forgot her name, but very high energy. And Zeta's also a very high energy dog. So we're going to have some nice tired dogs for the time that we're hanging out. I hope. Okay, let's see here. RW, let's see here. RW says, I sent bad juju vibes to Tamo, so she would drop her strawberries because it didn't invite me down to the warm weather to thaw out. Let's see here. Explorer with the Wild says, my buddy said his only dislike and it's minor is the wind noise. That's a fair point. And stuff being the soft sides on the pop-up. They do make some with folding walls. I can see being much better. Yeah, that's why I was bringing up the Alaskan is that it's a hard-sided pop-up. I don't know if y'all have ever seen one or heard of them, but they're pretty darn rare. You don't see them on the road very often, but they've been making them basically the same way since the 50s. And the inside looks like a really nice, like a sailboat. They're like a work of craftsmanship. Jared says, even if Patreon took 50%, there's still 50% more than zero. That's a fair point, Jared. Plus, it builds a real core group, behind-the-scenes posts, early videos, polls on content, member chat, shout-outs. It turns viewers into a team. Okay. Yeah, I haven't really considered any of that. That's a good point. Let's see. Sarah and Tank Girl says, Kenny of all trades, Kenny of all trades, Kenny of all trades, Kenny of all trades. Kenny. Oh, there he is. I told you he'd be here if we just say his name enough. Explore the Wild. I watch Kenny too. Love his stuff. Kevin Wald. Yep, we're gonna have a chicken and waffle collaborative dinner at some point. KGM says, how about rolling with the Joneses? Will they be there? As far as I know, they will be. Tamo, in my opinion, getting too old to pop up, set up, worry about drafts and wins, then repacking and popping down everything again. Yeah, I say, well, set up and tear down with pop-ups. Times vary, obviously. Sarah Tank, Sierra, Brian Stock. Yep, exactly. And then we got the Hey Kennies. And then we've got Kayla Moses says, when you move out and go full time, are you staying in Montana or exploring other states? So I can't really afford to leave my stomping grounds because it's where I get all of my work in order to be able to pay my bills. So until YouTube becomes a feasible full-time employment, I'm going to be kind of stuck. I wouldn't necessarily say stuck because Montana is pretty awesome. But I'll be stuck here. That being said, yes, I thank God I actually have a job when I come back after I move out of the house and everything. I have a contract for like 3 months worth of work, which is amazing. Like the pay isn't great, but it's 3 months of consistent work, which I'll take over a job that's 3 weeks with amazing pay any day. Unless, you know what I'm saying. Anyway. So yeah, after the Pro Camper rally, I'm going to be coming back here to Montana and working for at least 3 months, and then we'll see what happens after that. If somehow I miraculously get to like enough subscribers where it's feasible to go full time on YouTube, then I will absolutely just jump onto that, but it's not practical anytime soon. In which case, yes, like if and when that happens, I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling. Just working with the seasons for the most part is kind of how the traveling will work out. Let's see here. Oh, holy cow. What happened? Where are we? Slow down. Let's see here. Sue says hi to Kenny. Saren Tank Girl Meadow, that's right. I've been watching Brian since his winter camping in Colorado. Robert says hi to Kenny. Everybody says hi to Kenny. Rucking Around says hi. Danya. And we got Rolling with the Joneses in here. And he says hi to Kenny too. Everybody needs to say hi to Kenny. He's here. Mr. Kenny. Okay. Explore the Wild says, if we just keep saying everyone's names, we'll have a huge chat here of YouTubers. I'd love to see Timmy from Truck House Life show up. That'd be kind of cool too. Let's see here. Rolling with the Joneses. Big V says hi. And then Kenny says hi to everybody. And let's see here. Work contract is nice. Yes, it is. RW says, very glad that the berries survived until they were eaten. Sus Outdoors says, I need to camp in Montana hopefully this summer. Yeah. That being said, summer, there are certain things that you need to watch out for as far as camping in the summer in Montana. Like mosquitoes are a very real thing. Grizzly bears are also a very real thing. And heat. It gets proper hot down in the valleys of Montana, like over 100 degrees. So altitude is your friend. But with altitude comes mosquitoes. You'd be actually very surprised. I have never seen so many mosquitoes in my life. And this is coming from somebody who lived in Minnesota for 18 years of his life. They do not mess around here. They have like a week to get all the blood and reproduce and die. And so they take full advantage of it. Let's see here. Where was I? This is my hi to Kenny. Now he owes me $50 for saying hi. Dee Dee Crafty Grandma says, glad to hear about the job when you get back from Arizona. Thank you, Dee Dee. Rocket Around says, Timmy. Sarah and Tank Girl says, everybody needs to say hi to Toby too. Hi, Toby. Hi, Toby. Sue Gerbert says, Timmy's broke down somewhere. Yeah. I mean, it makes for great content and very consistent content. I will say that. Like almost every video. The guy is what it seems like is like you need to be a mechanic in order to be able to own an old body style Ford 7.3 liter Power Stroke, because those things are always breaking down. Yes, sir. Executive producer. Explore the Wild. I wish I had my passport. I think to meet up with you or anyone else down there would be so rad. And Vic, go to the Yukon. You'll see them lift folks off the ground. Yeah. Oh, I would say I'd be willing to bet that Yukon and then parts of Alaska too would be every bit or worse than what I've seen in the subalpine to alpine terrain of Montana in the summer. It's probably the same or worse. It gets so bad. Let's see here. Andy says July 1st, 2003. It was mid-90s in Darby, Montana. Drove up the Magruder Corridor. That's a great drive. But in July, and got stuck in the snow. An eye-opening experience for a lifelong Southern fellow. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that I actually did the Magruder Corridor for my first time ever a couple of years ago on a motorcycle, and that was incredible. I'm going to be right back. It's time to use the restroom. Let me maybe get Zeta over here. She can be co-pilot for a minute. I'll probably get to like 200 subscribers by just having her sit in the seat while I go to the bathroom. Zeta, hey, come on. Take the seat. Come on up. There you go. Come on. Oh, you're acting like an old lady. There you go. Good girl. You stay there. Stay. Stay. All right, girl, move. All right, where are we at? Gain 7. Gain 7. I need to just have lives where I just show my dog. I won't even have to do anything. It's like some of these. I think there was a live stream during Christmas where somebody just showed a wood fire place, and he had millions and millions and millions of views. That sounds like a really easy way to make a living on YouTube. All right. What did I miss, folks? Let's see here. Okay, we got the Darby. We got the Magruder Corridor. RW says, I better not hear Vic pooping again. She's like, what the heck, human? His mic is still on. Zeta. Yeah, we got some. Yes, hello. It's actually really funny. I've been meaning to so there's kind of an insider thing that y'all have never seen before. But when I'm editing my videos and I'm talking to her in my videos, or or she's, flipping a switch as she tends to do, it'll get her riled up. She'll be watching the screen and barking at the same time that she's barking. It's actually really adorable, and I caught it on my camera or my phone the other day when I was editing a video. Dee Dee says she's so pretty. Yeah, she's pretty cute doggers. Rick says, love your sense of humor, love Zeta. She's such a beautiful girl. Spot on with her videos. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it. Oh, let's see here. Sarah says, just show a campfire with your chat in the background. Right? Rakeen says, have a challenge. Want everyone to do an outdoor cook on a Swedish log. That's not a bad idea. And it would be much more consistent heat too. That's nice. Let's see here. Diss my human's throne. It's so nice and warm too. RW says, you could start a second channel just for Zeta. I probably could. Stormbug asks, are you going to put it in a video? If you're referring to when I was talking about the behind the scenes thing, I absolutely do want to. I'll probably put it in an extra credit part of the video because it's kind of irrelevant to the storyline of any video that I can see myself putting out anytime soon. Let's see here. Old Man Grows asks, didn't I have 2 shepherds? I did. I did have 2 shepherds for a while. Let's see here. Oops. Let's see here. Jared Schroeder, chair secured, human still in potty dimension. Sorry. Old man. If you're talking about within the last like 10 videos or so, yeah, that was thank you, Sue, for bringing that up. I was dog sitting my friend's dog. He had to go, he was going to he had some family issues, and then he wanted to go for a deer hunt, and he was successful too, which now that I think of it, I really hope that he would give me some steak out of that deer hunt. RW says, if you do Patreon, you could cut the extra credits out of your YouTube videos, extend them, and put them on your Patreon instead. That's actually a really good idea. Yeah, that's a good point. That being said, I do love the extra credit. It'd be hard to get rid of those. Because yeah, I don't know. That's a fair point though. I mean, that being said, you have no idea how much extra material that I just don't even bother putting into a video because I have a tendency to just ramble on and go on these random tangents and talk about, life and future plans and things like that I could definitely include onto a Patreon that I'm sure, I mean, a lot of the folks that I'm talking with now, like, I'm sure y'all would like to see that, but for the casual viewer, I don't know if that would be something. There's a reason why I keep it out, Yeah. Anyway. Kale. Let's see here. Where are we? RW. Oh, it wouldn't be too hard when you make money off them. True. That's true. KL Moses, good night, Vic. Good night to you too. Thanks for swinging by. Tamo says, random rants, tangents. Those are why we love you so much. Well, thank you. Yeah, I do have some pretty random stuff that goes through my mind when I turn the camera on. Because, well, I mean, it's kind of it's an interesting thing, when it comes to creating videos, where a lot of the time these thoughts, they're just in your head. At least they're in my head. And when you actually start bringing them out into the light and then just talking to a lens, it's a fascinating aspect of video creation, you know. So yeah, I think you're really onto something, RW. That's a good point. That'd be fun. Yeah. Explore the Wild says, I've been trying the full-time YouTube video route, but I struggle with content ideas. Oh my gosh, I totally hear you with that. I will say I've gotten some really good advice from my YouTuber friends, and it doesn't always have to, you don't always have to come up with something new every single week. A lot of folks just like consistency, and they want to hang out with you, the channel creator, like we're doing right now. Hi. I'm breaking the fourth wall. Or no, I guess I'm not, because this isn't a story. Let's see here. Sarah says, or do YouTube shorts, random rants of NN okay YouTuber, the world's okayest YouTuber, like Nat. Well, hey Nat, I'm glad you showed up. I'm actually winding down. I wish you were here earlier. I'm proper tired right now. Like it's actually really, it's a good tiring, but it's kind of intense doing these things, these live streams. But anyway, I'm glad you swung by at least for the tail end of it. I thought that was almost. I was feeling tired at 40 minutes into this live stream, and I just looked, and we're at 2 hours and 36 minutes. Like, where did the time go? And holy cow, we got work lesson. We got Mr. Larry here too. Everybody's here. We got Larry, we got Kevin Wall, we got Nat, we've got Rolling with the Joneses. I think Runaway Parents, I think they took their Metamucil and they're in bed already. I think that's what's going on. I haven't seen them for a while. Stormbuck says hanging with you is a introvert safe event. Well, in real life, it's not so much that, because I don't know. It's not that I make a scene. It's just I was, a little bit of honesty here. I was a very introverted person, and then something clicked in my mind one day where I just thought, I really want to figure out how to learn this art of communication, because I'm tired of being the quiet person in the corner, never really being able to engage with anybody, even though I want to so badly. And I want to not necessarily like find a tribe, but find a fun way to be able to communicate while I'm enjoying these life experiences, because you never know who you might be able to meet while you're out on your travels, or even if you're just going to a grocery store. By breaking the ice, so to speak, it just opens a gateway to the potential of meeting really incredible people. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. There's a tangent for you. Where are we? Holy cow. And Larry in the house too. It's a party now. Hey Larry. Hi Kevin. Is it intense like camping? Because you know how the joke goes. Sue says your property's gorgeous, Larry. Tamo says I love the longer lives. Well, thank you. It's kind of hard because I'm sure. I've heard this from other folks that have done lives. I can't remember exactly who it was, but it was one of us in the RBR tribe who's done a live. It's like it's when you first started a live, for some reason it's kind of like slow and it's really hard to get into it, and then all of a sudden you just hit a groove, and then the next thing you know, you were only expecting to make it 40 minutes, but now we're pushing almost 3 hours. Let's see here. Big V says, oh my gosh, they're all coming out of, I'm assuming, the woodwork, Vic. Let's see. RW Overlanding says, Larry, what kind of trouble are you getting into this week on the property? That's a good question. Let's see here. Tamo says, I burst out laughing at your comment about Metamucil and runaway parents. That stuff hits hard. McChristy says, you're a good communicator. I could never do a 3-hour ad lib chat. It's interesting because, I think part of the thing that motivates me is that I realize that all of y'all are here to hang out with me. That sounds really like kind of egotistical in a way, but it does like help in the fact that you've come here for me. So let's have a good time and have a good conversation. And it's not as difficult as you think, as long as you can hold up a conversation, which I'm pretty decent at. So yeah, here we are. Look at us making memories. Let's see here. Mom on the Run says, hi, Vic, sending you a big fat Canadian hug. Well, thank you very kindly for that. I really appreciate it. Vicarious Exploration says, I've been listening to you since Mesa, just outside of Flagstaff now. Wow. Man, that's a haul. Explore the Wild says, I was the same Vic. I love meeting fellow off-road or truck camper van folk and getting along with them so smoothly. That being said, like having a connection point when trying to break the ice and communicate with other folks, it goes a long ways. Sarah Tate Girl says, I find going into a grocery store smelling like a campfire is better than a milkshake. A milkshake? I'm lost on that, but I do understand the first part. Thank you, Big V. Appreciate it. Tamo says, you have an incredible soul. I love. Stop. Thank you. Appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. RW says Metamucil keeps your bowels running regular. It does. Nad says it's going to be so much fun at the TCR. Oh, heck yeah. We're going to have such a good time. I've been practicing my Celine Dion. I aspire to be like Whitney Houston for the karaoke. That's what it is. Karaoke. Sorry, brain fart. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Oh, okay. I got you. I need to go back and read that. Okay. I get it now. Okay. It's the only way I get up the nerve to talk to people. Wait a second. Oh, smelling like a campfire. Okay. um Yeah, Tamo. She says, happy to hear that you're going to the TCR. You and me both. And everybody else from the RBR. We're all so excited to see Nat being able to make it there. We're gonna smuggle her in because she doesn't have a truck camper. So I proposed the same tactic that a matriarch of elephants use on the savannah in order to defend the young elephants. You basically just surround the young elephants, the matriarchs do, and keep them in the center. And that's how we will go into the truck camper rally. Is we'll keep Nat Moran and her travel trailer in the center as we just push through the restrictions so that she can be part of the truck camper rally without having a truck camper. I think it's going to work. It's going to work great. But anyway, I said I was going to only have 2 beers, and I'm glad that I managed to push it almost all the way to 3 hours. So it's gonna let's start winding down this live stream here. I hate goodbyes though, so I'm gonna take my sweet time, which means it's probably gonna take like another hour until I say final goodbyes and turn off the live stream. But what the heck was that? I've never heard that sound before in my life. There's a Sasquatch in here. Anyway, I'm not gonna worry about it. Where was I? Elephant protection plan. Nice. Don't use what's RW say? Don't the elephants use their ears? You guys got big enough ears to protect Nat. I mean, look at these things. They're pretty big. I love the friendship right there, says Nat Moran. We got you, girl. We got you. Sue Trade just got here. Dang it. Well, I mean, it is only 6:47, but my stomach has been rumbling. Sarah and Tank Girl says it's cousin It. Oh, you mean up there? Right there. That's cousin It. I think it's actually a yak cape is technically what it is. But it looks exactly like cousin It. Okay, where was I? Elephants or Sam Squanch. It's a Sam Squanch, says Explore the Wild. Tamo says, the longer lives, Vic, we get to learn more about you, about every one of your followers, and that makes us all feel more like family. Well, I think that we kind of are in a way. Like, I appreciate that perspective. That's a cool way to look at it. But yeah. That being said, I'm getting kind of tired. It's been a long day, a long week. Stormbug says, thank you for spending Sunday with us. Prepare for Monday morning. Pets to Zeta. Take care. Thank you, Stormbug. Yeah, I'm going to be winding down. I'm winding down here too. Oh, unless that's what you brought that up for. But yeah, Pets to Zeta indeed. She's staring at me now. She knows that food is I shouldn't have said that word. Dinner is awaiting for her too. So, Explore the Wild says we could watch you cook something. That's true, but I don't have anything special that I'm cooking. I just got some lasagna and a meatball for dinner. Nothing special. Charlie Matthews says goodbye and good night, everyone on channel. Keep warm. Goodbye, Charlie. It's good seeing you. And Mimi says a big bonsoir. Bonsoir. Is that how you say it? Dang it. Wish I knew French more. Your French Canadian fans. Well, also, you're going down to Arizona, so I hope to see you, Mimi, at the Truck Camper Rally. RW says, take my Metamucil. Heck yeah. Old man grows. Peace out to you too. Explore the wild. Eat some taco. Oh man, I could go for some tacos right now. That's for sure. Don Davis. Holy cow! The chat's just like taking off all of a sudden. I need to like maybe every 5 minutes from like the beginning of my live, I should act like I'm leaving because you guys are going off the hook right now. Joy, thank you. Julianne, you too as well as usual. And Ailman, first live chat with you all. Hope you all realize how blessed you are to be able to do what you do. I 100% am. Hope to meet you all when I get to hit the road, trying to retire by the end of the year. Yeah, I'd love to bump into you too. And thank you for swinging by with the live chat. That's awesome. Sue says, good dinner. Thank you, Sue. She is a great German Shepherd. Sus, good night. DD, good night. Tamo, yes. The lasagna is calling everybody. Big V, good to see you again as always. Sarah, you too. RW says we're gonna have this chat spinning so fast Vic can use it as a ceiling fan. Donda says, fine, Vic, be that way. It just got here now and you have to leave. That does it. I'm going back to Kevin's channel. I'm hoping you're being sarcastic, but yeah, I think you are. I've been here for almost 3 hours. Where have you been, Donda? I'm pooped right now. I need to eat some dinner and watch some YouTube and go to bed. Because I have a very long week and a half coming up. I've got a lot of stuff to do in order to be able to prepare for this trip. And then the next few months of my life are going to be crazy, but I'm going to do my best to be able to keep getting some good content out to y'all. And yeah, that's my game plan. So until the next live, or my next video, thank you all so much for tuning in. And yeah. I don't want to say goodbye. I don't want to say goodbye yet. We're almost there. I got 2 minutes. I want to say goodbye to all y'all, and then it's gonna be the end of the night. So, Larry, good night to you. Explore the Wild says, all right, Kevin Wald, your turn. Boot up alive so we can switch over. Clay says, thank you very much for the snowmobiling compliment. I'm always nervous about putting that stuff on my truck camping channel, but seemed like a lot of folks liked it. Good night to you, RW. Your week and a half is going to zoom by. I was supposed to take care of all that work like a week and a half ago. So yes, I totally agree with you about things flying by. Nat, thank you for swinging by. And of course, Kevin Wald, good to see you again. I'll see you sometime soon, hopefully. No, I can blink. I have the skills. Anyway, Big V, good to see you again. Cooking with Curls. Good night to you. Good night, Sue. Good night, RW and Sarah and Tamo and Explore the Wild. Kenny of All Trades, of course. Good night to you too, buddy. And Donda, and Tamo, and yeah, I think that's almost it. RW says I can wink too, but only one eye at a time. Yes, I have mad skills. I can wink with both eyes at the same time. Yeah. That's why you should like and subscribe. Anyway, so really quickly, I was just about to leave, but Mom on the run. And when moms ask questions, you have to give answers. Mom on the run says, what did I do before YouTube? I still do what I did before YouTube. It's just more difficult now because work is kind of slowed, but I'm a carpenter, own my own business. And yeah, I still love to do it. But I do YouTube on the side, and then hopefully one day I'll be able to kind of phase out of being a contractor and be a full-time YouTuber, just like all my friends. So anyway, good night, Girl Scout, to you too, Vicarious. And Karen, good to see you. And Donna, and Explore the Wild, and Joy Tallman. Bye. Yeah. This is it. This is official. It's the fourth. It's the fourth goodbye. Donda, guten Nacht. The German. You speak as the Germans. Yeah. Anyway, it's officially done. We're calling it a live stream just before 3 hours. We did it, folks. Woo! Have a good night, everybody. And we'll see you on the next one. Later, Hosen.